What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's discuss Money in the Bank for July the 1st, 2023. Very solid show for the most part. There are a few ups and downs that had my head shaking. But other than that, for the most part, the show was decent. So we kicked the show off with the men's Money in the Bank match. It was the first match of the night. So we had the men's Money in the Bank match featuring LA Knight, Butch, Santos Escobar, who came out wearing Aztec attire, war attire from the Aztecs, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul. LA Knight got a massive pop when he came out. This was a very good match for the most part. Towards the end of the match, there was a sick table spot that Ricochet did onto Logan Paul. He did a Spanish fly, a nasty looking Spanish fly. I was like, oh shit. And both Logan Paul and Ricochet crashed and burned through the two tables that were on the outside. That was a sick spot. Pete Dunne, aka Butch, was able to do a lot of the joint manipulation stuff. There was a part in the match where LA Knight was going to win, but that wasn't the case because Damian Priest was able to get involved. He choke slammed LA Knight through a ladder, and he climbed up the ladder and retrieved the briefcase. Damian Priest wins the match. And I'm fine with this because it actually makes sense because there's story involved. I understand that the IWC and YWC are losing their damn minds all because they didn't get what they wanted. It doesn't matter. What you have to understand and realize, you guys are just going off of pure emotion. You have to understand, if you step back and think for a second, LA Knight winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, that would have been a very good feel-good moment. But once that's over and done with, do you legitimately think and believe that LA Knight is going to defeat either Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns? The answer to that question is a big, fat no. Fuck no. It's not going to happen. LA Knight would have failed his cash-in. He would have failed his cash-in. Triple H is going to make sure that Seth Rollins is going to have a long reign with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And Roman's not losing that title until next year's WrestleMania. So there's that. But Damian Priest winning is fine for the most part. So it does make sense. I'm interested in seeing where the story goes from here. There's going to be tension between Damian Priest and Finn Balor now. So a pretty solid match to kick off the show. And before I move on, the men's Money in the Bank this year was better than last year's men's Money in the Bank. It was better than last year's. I'm talking about the match. Moving on. This leads us into Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhonda Rousey and Shayna Baszler for the undisputed women's tag team championships. So, towards the middle of the match, Shayna Baszler goes apeshit and beats down Rhonda Rousey, screws her over. This allows for Raquel to hit the Chicana bomb, and Liv hits the Oblivion for the 1, 2, 3, and we have new WWE Tag Team Champions in Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. This makes sense because I feel that like Rhonda is more than likely on her way out. So maybe Rhonda realizes she doesn't have it anymore. And if we are being honest, we know that Rhonda Rousey more than likely probably wants to have another child. And she more than likely wants to spend more time with her child. This will probably lead to a match between Shayna and Rhonda at SummerSlam, which should be decent. Shayna can damn sure bring Rhonda to a good match. And it just makes the most sense. So I'm fine with this win here. This was the right call, the right move. I know people think that it wasn't, but it is. It is. You have to understand, once people have kids, they tend to want to have more kids in due time. So Rhonda understands this. Rhonda's made a bunch of money. And really and truthfully, Rhonda to me has had a better first run than her second run. That second run has been a total failure. It's been a fucking waste of time. Whether she's held singles gold or she has held tag team gold, it doesn't matter. This second run has been total shit. Moving on. So Kayla Braxton, she's backstage with Damian Priest. He wants to be known as Senor Money in the Bank. So Kayla Braxton asks what's next. Damian Priest says he has a lot to think about, and he names the various titles he could win. Damian Priest is confident that he'll become champion. Okay. I'm fine with that. This is teasing more strife within the Judgment Day. Moving on. Matt Riddle versus Gunther in a okay match. So Gunther wins. He taps out Matt Riddle with a leg lock, a very aggressive leg lock. So he actually slapped the ankle of, he chopped the ankle of Matt Riddle just about off the bone. Not really though, but he chopped the shit out of Matt Riddle. He got a huge pop, that being Gunther. So this makes sense. Gunther kicks ass. This is great. Moving on to the post-match angle. So post-match, Gunther, he stands tall. And then out of nowhere, we hear Drew McIntyre's music hit. And that crowd goes fucking apeshit. They go apeshit. And I absolutely love it. Love it. I'm glad that McIntyre is back. He's been missed. So Drew faces off with Gunther. They have a couple of words back and forth. And then Gunther, he shoves Drew. And then Drew drops Gunther with a Glasgow kiss headbutt. And then he hits a Claymore kick. And Drew, he's really fired up. The fans go insane. And then Drew raises the title over Gunther. And then he makes some poses. And I love how Michael Cole said Drew's WWE future is no longer up in the air. So that was great. So they got his contract situation all figured out. So this is going to lead to SummerSlam with Drew McIntyre facing Gunther. This is going to be a banger. This is going to be absolutely tremendous. And I want this to lead to a feud, not just a one-off match and then we put Gunther in the main event scene. No. This needs to be a feud that starts at SummerSlam and it carries us through a good portion of the fall. And I hope that's what they do. Glad that Drew McIntyre is back. Great. Good stuff. Moving on. Cody Rhodes versus Dominic. So, Cody Rhodes comes out to a big pop, as per usual. So, Dom gets a little bit of offense early on in the match. So, then this pisses Cody off. He takes off his titanium sling. The finish was when Dom was preparing for the 619. Cody blocks that. He hits the Alabama Slam for a decent pop. And then Cody hits the Cody Cutter. And he follows it up with the Crossroads for the 1, 2, 3. And Cody wins. So there's no Brock. Okay, that's fine. Again, this shouldn't have really been on the show. This would have been better if it would have happened on a Monday Night Raw, because that's what the match felt like itself. Dom did pretty decent, as per usual, with Rhea doing a bunch of the distractions here and there. But thankfully, Cody won. Now we know that Cody's next obstacle is Brock Lesnar. And Cody should go over Brock at SummerSlam. What he does after SummerSlam, nobody knows. I do not know. I don't know who he's going to feud with after SummerSlam. I don't know. Next. If I told you we were going to see John Cena again, you would have thought that I was lying to you. Nope, I wasn't. John Cena came out and that crowd blew the entire stadium to smithereens. It was an insane, massive pop. It was phenomenal. So John Cena, he gets on the mic. He talks about the energy and wonders why it took so long to bring a premium live event back to London. Cena says the WWE decision makers aren't sure about London. They think London is a hostile. Cena said that he thinks that London is very hostile, a distraction, and they like to take over the show till the fans boo. Cena says the fans are the voice and heart of the show. You are the show. Cena asked why he's here now. He said he's here for the fans. He wants the world to know that these fans are underappreciated. Cena is big on respect, and these fans have earned his. He goes on about the UK crowd is the most exciting WWE crowd that WWE has. Cena then says he's here to try and bring WrestleMania to London. The fans go insane with this. Cena isn't here for one more match. He's here because people pay attention to his music. Cena tells fans to show what a WrestleMania in London will sound like. And then the fans, they go wild again. The music interrupts. Out comes Grayson Waller. So Grayson Waller hopes that Cena doesn't mind the interruption. He has all the respect for John Cena. Grayson Waller goes on about John Cena's jorts and movies. Fans chant, shut the fuck up. So I do love that. That was great. Waller says he's disappointed to see Cena out here lying to the people. Waller then laughs at the idea of WrestleMania being in London. Grayson Waller goes on insulting the crowd and says if WrestleMania is going international, it should be Australia. And then Grayson Waller taunts the crowd to some more boos. Waller brings up Cena's losses to Austin Theory, Roman Reigns, and The Fiend. Waller can get Cena on the show. Cena just needs one viral moment. Waller goes on and tells John Cena to let him save Cena's career. Then the fans, they boo some more. Grayson Waller proposes John Cena versus Grayson Waller at WrestleMania Australia. Cena says he'll pass. And Cena says he goes to leave, but Waller stops him and says no one says no to the Grayson Waller effect. So Grayson Waller then hits a cheap shot on John Cena. And then Grayson Waller does a couple of shimmies that allows Cena to come back and hit a attitude adjustment for a big pop. And Cena makes his big exit, and then he does his salute, and then that was it. Very good stuff there. So we'll probably see John Cena and Grayson Waller at SummerSlam. That should be good right there. I'm good on that. I forgot to mention we're probably going to get LA Knight and Logan Paul at SummerSlam as well. That should be fine. Moving on. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match. IYO Sky versus Bayley versus Becky Lynch versus Zelina Vega versus Zoe Stark versus Trish Stratus. And this match, for the most part, was solid. I'm not going to hold you guys up. It was actually solid. I thought it was really good. Really good. So Zelina did a code red off the top of a ladder. Becky Lynch did the manhandle slam through a ladder onto Trish Stratus, taking her out of the match. The last few minutes of the match came down to Bayley, Becky, and IYO Sky. So Becky and Bayley, they were beating the shit out of each other on the ladder. And then all of a sudden, handcuffs are brought in from earlier on with Zoe Stark and Trish Stratus trying to arrest. Not to arrest, but to handcuff Becky to the ladder. But that was brought in towards the end of the match. So IYO Sky, she handcuffs both Bayley and Becky together, and she uses Bayley as one of the rungs, and then she's able to unhook the briefcase, and she gets the win. So that was great. So a great call right there. I'm glad that IYO won. Right decision made. It seems like Triple H has gotten 2 for 2, because Damian Priest is a Triple H guy, and we know that IYO Sky is a Triple H girl. So that makes the most sense. I'm glad. Who does she go after? Does she go after Rhea? Does she go after Asuka? Nobody knows. I don't know. I really wouldn't do anything right now. I would kind of wait till SummerSlam for IYO to cash in. So I wouldn't do anything right now. I would just hold off until SummerSlam. That's exactly what I would do. Because the women, they haven't had any failed cash-ins. And I don't think that they'll do that to the women. I really don't. I think that the women will all have successful cash-ins. The men, they're willing to take chances on that, on those guys, because everybody can't be a world champion. But the women, they're not going to make mistakes like that. They rarely make mistakes like that. Now, they did make a mistake when Carmella won the Money in the Bank twice, but that was when James Ellsworth was with the company, and he actually won Money in the Bank. So that was a massive botch from there. But other than that, they're going to continue that streak of having female talent be successful when they cash in. Moving on, Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins wins via the stomp for the 1-2-3. Towards the middle of the match, Damian Priest got involved. He didn't really do anything. He just sat there and watched the match. There were a couple of times where Finn Balor was going to get the coup de grace off, but he wasn't able to. So basically, Balor went for the coup de grace again. Rollins reversed it, and he hit the stump for the 1-2-3. Post-match, Seth Rollins stands tall. The crowd sings his song. And then Finn Balor and Damian Priest, they're arguing. So we're starting to see the cracks of Judgment Day here, and that's good. I'm digging it, because we know that Damian Priest can be a solid babyface, so it does make sense here. I think what they'll probably end up doing with Seth Rollins, they'll probably end up running that match back, Rollins and Balor at SummerSlam. That's kind of what they might do. And then you might have Damian do to attempt cash in, but it probably won't happen. They might tease that. Moving on. So, Kayla Braxton, she's up in the skybox, and she's interviewing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So she congratulates them on retaining their championships over Pretty Deadly on Smackdown. Kevin Owens talked about tonight's match in the hot crowd. Kayla brings up the Bloodline Civil War match, and Sami says tonight will be the night where Roman finally gets what he deserves. And then this leads us into the main event, the Bloodline Civil War. The Usos versus Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. So, this was a very long and methodical, slow match for the most part. It didn't it didn't really pick up until towards the end. We had a ref bump, like we always do. So Roman and Solo, they hit a Samoan spike into a spear on, I think it was Jimmy, but he kicked out. And then the win came when Solo attempted to do a Samoan splash through the announce table. Jey ducked out the way. No, Jimmy ducked out the way, and Solo was out. So then the Usos did a plethora of super kicks, and then Jey did the Uso splash for the 1-2-3. Jey Uso wins, and the crowd pops heavy. This was a weird decision, but not really, because this was a tag match. I know people were losing their shit online about, Roman didn't need to get pinned. It's like, it doesn't matter. Again, this is a tag match. Solo has lost several tag matches with Roman. He's not going to lose another one. So this doesn't hurt Roman at all. This will probably end up leading to Roman and Jey Uso at SummerSlam. After that, I don't know where you go with this. I really don't. But it is what it is. So, Money in the Bank for the most part was decent. Damian Priest and Io Sky winning Money in the Bank was the right call. Seth and Finn Balor could have been a little bit better. Rhonda turning on Shayna is fine. A potential Summerslam match between Logan Paul and LA Knight is fine, as well as a potential match between John Cena and Grayson Waller at SummerSlam. That's fine. And Shayna Baszler turning on Rhonda Rousey, that's good as well. So that's great. Roman losing to Jey, that's fine. Like I said before, that sets up Roman and Jey at SummerSlam. Cody will still finish his story, and I guess he'll probably finish it at WrestleMania. That's what it seems like. It seems like Roman's going to be tied down to the Bloodline story for a little bit longer. So, it is what it is. But for the most part, Money in the Bank was solid. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.